Hey everybody, it's John Swantek from PGA Tour Live. Hope you're doing well and feeling well. We know that you're starved for PGA Tour tournament action, and you're always trying to connect with our players. So we're going to accomplish both of those things today in an innovative way. We're going to revisit last year's World Golf Championships event in Austin, Texas, the Dell Technologies Match Play, and we will do it with a 9-time PGA Tour winner, 2012 FedEx Cup champ, and one of the guys who has signed for one of 11 sub-60 rounds in PGA Tour history. We appreciate the time of Brandt Snedeker. How are you, Brandt? What's happening?
Doing good, John. We're hanging in there. We're here in Nashville, kind of hunkering down, but hoping everybody's doing okay out there.
We'll relive your match in group play with Tiger last year. We'll kind of work through the round, and you can audition for your role as a network analyst after your playing career someday. How's that?
Hopefully it's not for a long time.
We hope so as well. We'll pick it up here at the third early in the match here. What's the mindset when you go up against the greatest match play competitor of our generation here, Brandt?
You know, the biggest thing to me was try not to give him anything all day, right? Really make him work for every hole that he won. Make sure I gave him no gifts. Try to put pressure on him when I had a chance to put pressure on him. And for the most part, for me, take pressure off myself. And so got off to a pretty good start. Here on the third, a nice approach shot. That was a tough shot for me with the right pin. Still kind of hanging in there, waiting for something to happen. This is a pivotal hole, kind of early in the match to get something going. Tiger had a great shot here, kind of went over the green, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's right. Look at that. Remembering, it's coming back to me slowly but surely. And then I had actually hit a really good shot here. Had a much easier putt or chip than he had putt, if I remember correctly. So it's one of these match plays, totally different. It's tricky. You've got to not be too up and down because it is a very roller coaster type of feeling. You can be really, really up, then lose a hole, be really, really down. So you have to try to stay as patient as possible.
So you guys speak often about staying in the moment, right, from shot to shot. That would especially apply to match play, I would think, especially when you're going up against Tiger because the margin for error is so razor thin as we look at the action here at the fifth.
Yeah, it is. Tiger hit a great eagle putt here. Really tough putt. And just glad he, waiting for him to do something special. But the biggest thing for me was trying to stay out of my own head in the sense of not let the Tiger Woods factor take over, not be too nervous, not do something I wouldn't normally do. And so getting a tie here probably was overall a good thing. We both had eagle putts. I think maybe I won the next hole to get going is what it was that I got confused on. But this was actually a nice putt. You had some pressure on it. He'd already gotten in. That's one of those ones that you're thinking in your mind, just whatever you do, don't miss it. And luckily, I kind of snuck in the left edge.
So that was at the fifth. Not many Snedeker putts don't go right in the middle, but that one did find the bottom. So you guys were tied when you came to six. You got some short par fours that were drivable, some reachable par fives. It was really a good setup, Austin Country Club, for match play, wasn't it?
It's great, yeah, because a lot can happen. You never really feel like you're out of a hole or out of a match because par fives are all relatively reachable. You got some drivable par fours. Birdies are there to be found. And there's some tough par fours where a par is going to win the hole. So you're constantly trying to kind of realize that it's not all going to end with one hole, kind of move on to the next one. Had a great drive here in the fairway. Tiger kind of pulled his left. If I remember, he had a little tree trouble. So I had a really good second shot here. I think it's a 4-iron. Got a really fortunate bounce you probably don't see on coverage. This ball probably should have gone right. It bounces left up the hill. Don't ask me how it did that. I guess I was fortunate to say the least on that one because that should have been dead down by the right where you can't miss it. But it made it really easy up and down for me from there.
And you always have to expect Tiger to pull off the miracle recovery shot, don't you?
I do, yeah. He's probably one of the things that Tiger's most underrated, in my opinion, is his ability to escape and put the ball in the right spot from there. Even though this was left of the green, you're supposed to miss this left, so you had a chance of getting up and down. Hit a pretty good bunker shot. I remember about 5 feet. And this is kind of where the match, in my opinion, swung a little bit. First real blood of the day, and it was kind of a precursor of things to come for the rest of the match.
Yeah, this was a chance. Yeah, chance to win the hole here. So proper speed is important, and job well done there.
For sure, it was downwind, downhill putts. One of those ones that could get away from you if you weren't paying attention. My biggest thing was I'm trying to make it, but don't run it 5 feet past.
And this was, as you pointed out, the pivotal turning point in the match, not one you would expect Woods to miss.
Yeah, it kind of happened that for the rest of the day for both of us. It seems like nobody ever really made a putt the rest of the day. It was just one of those days where it was kind of not a lot going on. Some great shots, but the putters were kind of leaving us both kind of missing something.
Well, you came to the 8th here 2 up, Brandt, and your tee game, as I recall, was outstanding. You'd only missed 4 fairways on the week to that point.
Yeah, I was driving it really well. This is a hole I absolutely despise. Still do at Austin Country Club. It's a really tough dogleg right where the longer guys like Tiger can almost take it up over the trees on the right and cut off a ton of yardage. And I have to play more up the middle. You'll see it here. He's able to get down this slope, out driving by 50, 60 yards. And this green is not built for 4-iron, so I'm sitting back there trying to somehow finagle an iron somewhere on the green, and they're hitting 8, 9 irons in. So I hate this hole, to say the least.
Well, the greens are huge. They're massive, but they look really small from the fairway, don't they?
Yeah, this is typically a par 5 for the members, and they play as a par 4. So the green's built for more of a wedge to short iron, not for a 4-iron that I just double crossed right there up in the woods. It's not a great spot to miss it. Tiger does the smart thing here, puts it in the middle of the green, and I'm doing exactly what I don't want to do, which is give him a hole if I can't get this thing somewhere on the green.
Kind of out of options
Tough chip shot
down there, weren't you? Yeah.
No, I did a good job to give myself a putt at par. It's all I was trying to do. And I was way below the surface of the green and kind of a nasty little lie. If I remember, Tiger might make this putt to get some momentum going here. I remember the roar coming back to me now. So to me, it was a non-issue because the hole was already lost. He was going to win that hole probably if I didn't make a 15-footer. So it wasn't as devastating it would have been as if I had messed it up and he had 2-putted.
So this was Tiger at the 9th here, Brandt. How intimidating is his presence, even at this deep stage of his career?
Definitely the first few times you play with him, it's a different kind of feeling. Once you get used to him and realize he's a normal guy, he loves getting ribbed and being a normal guy, it gets easier and easier the more you do it. But definitely the first 4 or 5 times you play with him, there's an aura around him that you would never know any other player really has, where he's really it gives you an uncomfortable feeling where you kind of feel like you're out of your own comfort zone a little bit. This is a tough tee shot here on number 9. Yeah, he hit his too good, goes through the fairways in the rough. So it makes that second shot difficult. He can't spin it. He can't control it the way he wants to. As you can see, it's kind of more of a high knuckleball. It's a great shot. Tiger Woods kind of shot. Most of us are hitting the back of the green and 2-putting and moving on. I've got a relatively close wedge shot here, I think.
Hit it very high. Short iron hits that little draw that spins left.
Yeah, here it is.
I kind of bail out to the right. Yeah, so I bail out to the right a little bit. Try to use the spin to bring it back down to the hole. Do a pretty good job, but again, I think I'm outside Tiger here. Chance to put some pressure on him if I can make it.
You're gonna go ahead and tap it in.
But as you can see, it did not go in. I remember missing that putt. So it's one of those ones where now I'm expecting Tiger to make this putt, get back to even, going into the back 9.
Yeah, both guys missing birdie opportunities, so both players would par the 9th in group play, and Brandt would maintain a 1-up advantage against Tiger as they hit the back 9 at Austin Country Club in group play last year, and this was the little one to clean up here. I mean, not given, but you could see that one.
Yeah, I'm kind of laughing myself. I think I gave him a hard time. I guess we'll be putting him out the rest of the day. But it's one of those things, as you can see the wind, I remember the wind picking up here, and this is a great short par 4. You kind of on top of the hill there at Austin Country Club, you're teeing off with a crosswind into kind of, so there's 2 options. You can either kind of lay back like Tiger did, hit an iron off the tee and get on top of the hill. Me, I was driving it pretty good, so I felt aggressive. I thought, I'm going to hit driver and get it up there and get it really way down there where I have a sand wedge in my hand.
So a little miscue from Woods here, tugging one coming into the 10th.
Yeah, I think he was trying to hold one up against the wind here and kind of let it ride it a little bit too much, and ends up in the bush. And I think everybody remembers this shot. I still have nightmares about it. It kind of teaches the old lesson of the match play lesson of make sure expect your playing competitor to do the unthinkable on every hole. Because I laid up here. I'm like, you know what? He's in a tree. He's making bogey at best. I'm just gonna hit on the green, 2-putt, and go on. And I'll be up 2 again. And I see him getting down there with his, clubs on sideways. I'm looking at Joey like, what is this guy doing? He's got no chance of hitting a shot. And I'm sitting to myself going, look, he's laughing at me right now when he's doing that because he realizes he just halved the hole from, the grandstands back there in a tree. And now I'm like, well, if I've got an up and over putt here, it's not an easy 2-putt. Did a great job to get that close, but I'm like, he's going to make this putt and have this hole when I played safe in the middle of the green. So that's a great thing about match play. You just never know what's going to happen. And the fact that if you play safe and do what I thought the smart thing was and don't expect your partner to do something great, then this is what happens. I've got a putt to have the hole now. And should have been winning that hole easily. And that's why Tiger is Tiger,
Yeah, a little bit of a knee knocker, but you got it. That would have been devastating had you lost that hole.
I'm still sweating that putt now, a year after.
Remain 1 up. And then a few of the holes coming in here down along the lake there. This is at 14, 2 up at this point.
Yeah, Tiger made a mistake on the previous hole and driven it in the water with an iron, and it was un-Tiger-like mistake, to say the least. So he kind of gave me that hole in a sense. This hole is a really tough driving hole into the wind. You're trying to hit one low. Can't really see a lot of the fairway. He kind of tugged this one a little bit left and did something that I can't do. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, it's a tough second shot under normal conditions. Forget the wind. I kind of hang one up here in the wind a little bit with a 4-iron. Comes up just short. It's a relatively easy up and down from there. I'm not too terribly worried about that. And then Tiger does what Tiger does. I don't know what to say. I can't do this. I don't know how he does it.
I mean, remarkable recovery shot back at 10, and then just freezes one from the fairway bunker at 14 and nearly hold it. My goodness.
Yeah, 5-iron from 200 yards into the wind out of a fairway bunker, and now I have to make this to have the hole. Oh, almost did. One hopped it over. It was trying to use the pin and wasn't able to pull it off.
So now things are getting a little bit tighter as you came to 15, and there's so much vocal support for Tiger out there. And Brandt, you're one of the most popular players in the game, but even you must have felt a little bit like an underdog that day.
You always are when you're playing Tiger. That's why it should be that way. I mean, I'm rooting for Tiger to be everybody else but me too. So it's one of those things where you have to embrace it. You have to understand it. It's not like they don't like you. It's just they like Tiger better than they like you, and I don't blame them. I like Tiger. My kids like Tiger better than they like me, watch him on TV. So I kind of have fun with it and don't take it personally and realize that, I'd love to shut him up for a minute, hit a good shot. This was playing a really tough shot downwind because the green got really firm. It was hard to make sure you hit the right number. The pin was in a really weird spot, so you can't really be too aggressive from here. I thought Tiger was in a terrible spot here. I mean, he's in the rough, downwind to a front pin, and I don't know how he does this stuff. I mean, how he's able to hit numbers like that. That's what people don't understand. Is like that shot was impossible. He had literally one pace to land that ball. And again, I'm putting first, so I feel like, and I've got to make these putts because he's eventually going to make one of these, and I didn't, obviously, and luckily for me, he didn't either. And so, as I said, the theme of the day was it's a story of missed putts. He had every opportunity in the world to beat me. He just couldn't quite make the putts when he needed to.
Yeah, he dodged another bullet there at 15, so Brandt stays 1 up in that match as they moved to 16, a par 5. And as I recall, Brandt, it was dead into the wind. So this was a 3-shotter even for Tiger, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was one. The wind kind of switched into and off the right. So you try to kind of use the wind to hit as far as you could, but wasn't really ever going to get there in 2. It was just it's one of those ones where there's water over there to the left that you don't think's in play until you turn one over into the wind and then it is in play. And you see me here, I'm hitting this thing right. I'm like, I want no part of any of that stuff on the left over there. There's some fairway over on the right that kind of brings it back in for you. And so for me, it's pure 3 shots. Tiger might have had a chance to get a perfect one, but for me, it's always going to be 3 shots.
Yeah, you looked like a guy who strictly adhered to a game plan that day, did you?
Yeah, I had an idea of how I wanted to play, what I wanted to do. I was driving it great. When you're driving it great on that golf course, it creates a lot of opportunities for you. And especially with this par 5, we're not getting there in 2. He had a good layup shot. You know, this is where Tiger is normally unbelievable. You know, anywhere inside 100 yards, he's got great feel and touch. And came up a little bit short there, which was kind of unlike him, to say the least, from those distances.
Yeah, that was beneath his standards. And this was the same flavor shot for you here, and you kind of skip one in there low. That was pretty nifty.
Yeah, I kind of punched one back there to a back pin. I told myself to be aggressive, get one back there, give yourself a chance. If I can birdie this hole, I know pretty much match is over, right? I mean, 2 up with 2 to go. Although Tiger's Tiger, if I had birdie one of the last 2 holes, it's over. So I realize this is a really important putt. He misses his putt. Now things have changed. If I can make this putt, which is the only putt I made all day, that's when I felt like, okay, don't mess this up from here. It's not going to get any easier than this. So
you can see from the little fist pump that the magnitude of that one as you came to 17 with the 2-up advantage. Terrific little hole here, just 126 yards. Really cool.
It's people don't understand it. It makes you think so many different things because the wind's always moving in funny directions there. You don't really feel it on the tee, but it's whipping through there. I had a bad wedge shot. I pulled it. Couldn't really judge the wind very good. It seemed like Tiger's, of course, was right at it. Just misjudged the wind a little bit.
And he kept giving himself chances, and Woods would get the second look here. And this one had some movement to it. You had to kind of snuggle it in there within a couple of feet.
Yeah, it was an up and over putt, kind of going back down the hill. Did a great job of judging my speed right. Just trying to do what I did there. Snuggle up there close and say, you know, if Tiger makes this, he makes it. We'll go to 18 tee. I'm 1 up. I played 18 good all week. I'll take my chances. And fortunate enough for me, he did not make it. And again, you know, wasn't even really close. We both struggled all day with reading the greens and kind of getting the right space on them. And you know, didn't really matter that much for me for the rest of the week. I was gone after Friday, but it was a fun match. It was a fun match for me, and the fact that I can always say I beat him head to head, but I would have rather been him on the weekend for sure.
Yeah, big scalp when you take down Tiger. You did lose the next day to Aaron Wise. It's interesting that you brought that up, and I'm wondering how much of the emotional gas that you had to spend to take down Tiger kind of spilled into that match against Aaron.
Yeah, you know, Aaron played great. He shot 6 under par, I think, on me the next day. Played unbelievable. I continually did not make putts again the next day. You know, I got kind of lucky that day against Tiger. It's funny looking back on that now, knowing what Tiger winning the Masters, obviously a month later. I saw a lot of unbelievable stuff that day that people doesn't really come through, the way he was able to shape iron shots up into the wind. Some of the shots you didn't show, of just him hitting shots that the proper golf shots over and over again, which is Tiger when he's at his best, is unbelievable to watch. And I kind of feeling that after leaving that week that he was going to play good at the Masters. Like he said, his iron's just too solid, too good. You know, that shot of the fairway bunker on 15 or 14 people just don't hit. Like very few people on tour can hit that shot. So looking back on it, this was kind of a precursor to what ended up happening in April.
It was really fun to relive it. We appreciate your time, Brandt. What are you doing to stay sharp during this down period on the tour, by the way?
You know, I've got a simulator in my house. I'm hitting some balls on that, kind of playing around on that a little bit. The golf courses here are actually, most of them are shutting down or just letting you walk. So no practice facilities are open, none of that stuff. So I'll probably get out and walk a little bit this week and play some golf. But, you know, it's kind of a downtime for me. I'm kind of spending at home, help my wife, I guess, kind of homeschool our kids right now, which is, I want to give a shout out to every teacher everywhere in the world after doing it for 2 days. I don't know how they do it for a full-time job. You're definitely underpaid. So shout out to all the teachers out there. I have a newfound respect for what you do on a daily basis, because after 2 days, I would definitely quit if I could.
Well, all the best to you and your clan in Nashville, Brandt. Be well, be safe, and hope to see you out there sooner rather than later. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks, John. Looking forward to seeing you all on the road again somewhere.